So checking out the bracket, it's match 13 between the winners of the orange and the blue brackets that we have today. So let's count down the first semi-final of Hopeful Circuit in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I thought I'd missed a Texas there, but no, that says Tetris. IanKeith, getting the first Tetris of the game, has one little hole on the right side to deal with, but will deal very nicely with that using a J piece, and make some nice adjustments to keep the middle of the board clean. Oh, those S pieces are nasty for IanKeith though. Tried to limit the dependency to a J, but has had to make a hole. Gets a T over left, and kinda needs a long bar. There's a long bar. Now Tetris ready on row 2 is IanKeith. Ah, hello Aki. I'm not sure if you know about this, I hope you do, but your match is postponed because Noah has had to cancel at the 11th hour. Oh, Saint with a dirty left well. That's not Tetris ready, only gets a single with it, and this is not a free dig for Saint. Overshifts that long bar, and that's gonna be it for Saint at 93,000 points. IanKeith, you're in a Chasedown, you need like 2,000 more points. You need to get to 94,000. That Tetris is gonna do it for IanKeith. And he takes the first game. Both players are ready, let's count down game 2, and let's hope warm-up is done in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, shout out to all my DAS purists all my DAS purist friends looking forward to that Aki Ian final. I cannot speak, man. Would be quite surprising to get a DAS-only final in Hopefuls in what is probably the toughest Hopefuls bracket we've ever seen. A majority of the players in this bracket have 1.2s. I think IanKeith is the only player in the top 4 that doesn't, but he's insanely consistent, a very good stacker and a champion of Community Tier 1, so I don't think you can argue he doesn't deserve to be here. There's a Tetris for IanKeith into the lead at 74,000. Saint having to dig just a little bit, getting some reasonable pieces to do so. Gets the well back open. There's a Tetris for Saint and one for IanKeith. Separated by about a single right now, 400 points separating them. Both will slam down Tetrises, and IanKeith burns, so no more 400 point deficit. Yes, I know Ian would argue that he doesn't deserve to be here, but I'm not including him in that sample. He's already done that in the CTM Discord. We're still very neck and neck, only 1,000 points separating the players, but Ian's in some trouble, gets a long bar over for the Tetris, and now can start cleaning this up. This is Saint's chance to take a lead if he gets the long bar. Oh, nice adjustment to avoid the double and take the Tetris instead. But IanKeith's cleaned that up quite quickly, and Saint had to burn because of the drought, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. Saint has taken a 1 Tetris lead, gets another Tetris to extend it to 2. There's a simul Tetris. Saint at 267, IanKeith at 223. IanKeith's vibing. Bopping to the music or something. IanKeith, with a bit of a challenging situation here, decides not to look for any kind of dirty Tetris. Oh, barely got that L in the right place in time. Saint has some cleanup to do. IanKeith gets a Tetris. That overhang is going to be difficult to resolve without burning for Saint. Would love an L to tuck in there. And doesn't get it, so he's going to have to take the compromise and burn instead. That's a nasty S piece followed by a nasty Z piece for IanKeith. And he's going to have to do some burning as well, plenty of it, as the pieces continue not to work out for this board. Saint takes the lead with a row 3 centerwell Tetris. Nicely done. 325 for Saint, 307 for IanKeith. Saint looking for a J for that left. Gets a nice transfer to that row 2 hole, and just a double to go back to the right well. Another very nice dirty setup from Saint. They are risky, but he's doing them in a pretty accommodating way that maximizes the chances of getting those transfers. IanKeith gets a nice long bar to prevent that dependency, and a nice L and a nice J. IanKeith resolves that jaggedy board quite quickly. Well, that S is a very troublesome piece for IanKeith. Has a hole now, has burn options at the very least. Gets a Tetris and now has to deal with this hole. Saint has taken about a 2 Tetris lead, is at 425 to Ian's 385. Ian's still burning, Saint gets another Tetris. Looking for a T. Now kinda needs one on the left too, so he's gonna take the S spin and use the T to... not the S spin, the Z spin, pardon me, and use the T to fill out the left. We are now approaching the level 19 transition. IanKeith will want to get this board cleaned up, which he is doing. Wouldn't have wanted those long bar dependencies into 19. There's still time for things to happen. 9 lines can be a surprisingly long time if you don't get the right pieces. Hello AV Geek, welcome in. Alright, Saint with one more Tetris available before the transition. Gets it, transitions at 524. IanKeith, waiting for the long bar. There's the Tetris into 19 at 467 for IanKeith. IanKeith is a DAS player, so he's got to be very careful on 19. Can't really force the Tetris too much. And this is a troublesome situation for IanKeith. Is Tetris ready on top of all this? Gets the long bar, he might be able to survive this. That left is accessible now, gets the Z over. Gets the T over. Oh, but he needs another long bar. Gets another dirty Tetris. And gets some nice S pieces, would love another one. That's gonna make a hole, but he can work with this. I believe... Oh, he's gonna need a quick tap, he doesn't get the J over. That was very entertaining, but unfortunately not enough. IanKeith tops out at 529. Saint is good, handled the transition very well, and is gonna tie up the set 1-1. Alright, both players ready, let's count down game 3. I think warm-up definitely is done now. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Shout out to Ian with the accidental level 13 start. You love to see it. Level 13's such a good level. We should allow level 13 in competition. We've got Classic Tetris level 12, but when are we gonna have Classic Tetris level 13? Yes, I saw your 13 max, AV Geek. I want to get one of those myself, because I played so much 13 back in the early days when I was bad. And, like, I am good enough now to the point where I probably could get a 13 max, so I'd like to do that. Oh, a couple of minutes ago you got a 12 max. Nice. Max every level when... IanKeith getting a little bit droughted, waiting for this long bar. It's not showing up. There it is, finally. IanKeith at 99,000, Saint at 120, has made quite an efficient start. There's another Tetris for Saint, 144, and one for IanKeith, 124. This left side is not in the greatest shape for IanKeith, but gets the pieces and uses them correctly. IanKeith once again waiting, there's the Tetris. Saint with a couple of overhangs, solves them straight away. Now has that annoying formation on the right, which is going to force one more burn. Saint gets a Tetris, 214. IanKeith's getting up a little bit high. Gets the Tetris, I can't speak, 196. 219, there we go. Right, so it's about a 1 Tetris difference at the moment, and IanKeith actually takes the lead with that Tetris. Very efficient early 18 from both players. Plenty of time for stuff to happen, but we might be looking at some 600k transitions if they can keep this up. I'm sure Aki would approve of this, being one of the greatest pace stackers we have in this community. So, for Aki, you can get a 600k transition, right, guys? If he's even still here. I hope he is. Oh, interesting adjustment of that square by IanKeith to make and fill the J dependency. I don't actually know if that was optimal, but that was certainly interesting. I certainly wouldn't have thought to do that myself. There's a Tetris for IanKeith, 338. IanKeith laughing about it. Look, it didn't ruin everything and you didn't misdrop it. That's the true goal of all adjustments. Saint maintaining this 1 Tetris lead, 402 for Saint at 83 lines. I think this is an Aki approved pace. 384 for IanKeith at the same line count. Ah, hello Penguin Panic. Yes, you might have taken a wrong turn, but we're glad to have you. IanKeith has actually taken the lead now, is at 454 to Saint's 431. And Saint is having to burn through this drought, gets a Tetris 456, players trading leads right now as IanKeith goes to 476. The 600k transition dream is alive and well at the moment for IanKeith and for Saint. IanKeith gets another Tetris 500k at 106 lines. Saint now 3 lines in the future and also behind in score, so losing just a bit of efficiency, but there's 100 lines of 19 that he's got to catch up after this, and still 20 lines of 18. IanKeith not quite getting the pieces he was looking for. Would love a J, that long bar works as well. Has the well back open, would like a long bar reasonably soon, that square pretty much gets rid of all IanKeith's dependencies. There's a long bar for IanKeith, 552. Saint at 558 has retaken the lead, but is 4 lines in the future. Alright, IanKeith burns, gives up the 600k transition for a safer stack into 19. 584 transition for Saint, 580 for IanKeith. We're neck and neck going into 19. This is just what you want to see. Oh, a misdrop for Saint, gets a Tetris, but has to clean that up. That's going to cost plenty of burns. IanKeith got a little bit dangerous there, but did get a Tetris. Certainly that was a dangerous board for Das. That left side for IanKeith gets the quick tap over, very nicely done. Needs a long bar, is not getting this long bar. There's a Tetris for IanKeith, 646. Has got to burn this down. It has the room to do it. Needs to be careful. Saint with a very clean board at 649. We're still neck and neck. It's a 4,000 point lead for IanKeith. And IanKeith's back down to the bottom. One more burn and he's back to the right well. Saint gets a Tetris into the lead, 677. IanKeith is Tetris ready. Oh, an early shift for IanKeith. Needs a long bar now. Gets it over. I don't know how he got that over. I thought for sure he was gonna hang that. Can he survive this? Can he get a bar over? No, he can't. IanKeith tops out at 685. And a simul top out as Saint hangs an L and tops out at 706, but it's just enough for Saint. Saint takes game 2 and moves to match point. Not game 2, game 3. Well, it's Saint's second game that he's won, but it's game 3 overall. Okay, both players are ready. Let's count down a pivotal game 4 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Look, Dan, it's not even my fault this time. It's not even my fault that things aren't running smoothly like usual. Alright, and YouTube, you didn't hear that. Things are running very smoothly. Dan can edit out everything I just said. He's on wide duty, right? He's probably editing this. Yes. This is gonna, like, ruin the relationship me and Dan have, isn't it? Dan's gonna get so sick of me giving him more work. Look, at least Toby versus Tetris time, which is like the worst of it, wasn't actually my fault. Okay, there's a game of Tetris going on now, which also isn't my fault. I didn't schedule this, I'm just the commentator. But it's happening, and I should say words about it. Saint in some trouble, needs to reopen the well. Has done that, gets a Tetris. 165 for Saint, 148 for IanKeith. There's a Tetris, 171. IanKeith into the lead. Wait, is that a slideshow stream now, or is that in reference to Toby versus Tetris time? Because the preview looks alright for me, but I'm scared. Okay, Toby versus TT, that's good. I'm hoping this isn't a slideshow. Alright, IanKeith in a little bit of trouble. Would love an L. Nice T placement to accommodate that square. Taking a safety double, waiting for the long bar. There's a Tetris for IanKeith, simul Tetris in fact, 241 for Saint, 225 for IanKeith. Once again, a very efficient start on 18 for both players, and Saint with the 1 Tetris lead, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what happened last game. Oh, IanKeith misses an OJ. Very disappointing. That was an actual, like, optimal OJ as well. I mean, I think I gave Foiled Thrice a heart attack, by pinging him in the Super Streamer channel to confirm I was taking this, because he thought I said I wasn't taking it. So this is Foiled's retribution, I think. Right, Saint gets a Tetris, 357. There's one for IanKeith, 344. Wait, is Dan a Super Streamer? Because if not, he totally should be. And Dan can be responsible for his own mess on YouTube. Oh, IanKeith with an interesting Z-tuck there. That kind of ruined the solution for that overhang though, and he has to burn. So IanKeith at 378, gets a Tetris 400,000, Saint at 450 before 100 lines. Another very strong 18 from Saint. Oh, IanKeith is in a lot of trouble here. This has to turn into a good board before 19. Firstly, he's got to survive on 18, and secondly, this has to become something workable before 130 lines. IanKeith has made it workable for now, but needs something he can work with on 19 as well. Saint just keeps going as well, 500,000 at 113 lines. There's a Tetris, 526. I believe Saint can still 600 transition. IanKeith gets the longbar dependency filled, that'll help enormously. Oh, is IanKeith setting up a Tetris? No, he takes the triple. And IanKeith has done exactly what I've said. He has made this into something workable for 19. A very nice dig there from IanKeith. And that keeps his hopes alive in Hopeful Circuit. Saint has transitioned at 577. Tetris for IanKeith into transition at 455 has a lot of catching up to do. Saint at 601 before even reaching level 20. Despite what he said about the channel points, Saint really wants this and he's showing it. IanKeith needing to take... Oh, Saint with that longbar tower in column 7. What is going on here? Saint needs to get something left. That L is not an optimal solve at all. This is so tough for Saint to survive. Doesn't get the longbar over right, and Saint is done at 632. IanKeith, you need 633. Just keep it safe. There's a Tetris for IanKeith, 572. You need to get to 633. And IanKeith probably could line this out all the way to go to 633. I don't know if that's what he wants to do, it kind of looks like it though. Maybe going for triples, that's an interesting strategy. That looked like he was purposefully building up for a triple, almost. Ooh, longbar dependent now, but does get the longbar. Alright, IanKeith's back to a right well now. IanKeith does have a really good score on the no longbars mode in Tetris Gym with triples only. And just seeing him get that triple and wondering if he was setting up on purpose, I had flashbacks to watching that. It's quite a good video, you should all watch it. Alright, IanKeith is Tetris ready. This will give him the game. Gets the Tetris to 635. And we're going to a decider. So to everyone, which means IanKeith, who said this match wouldn't be hype, you were wrong. Okay, both players are ready. No more delay, it is time to play. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Wait, it's supposed to be no reason to delay, isn't it? I wanted to steal IanKeith's catchphrase because I thought it would be funny, but then I said it wrong. Damn it. Would have been so good. Yes, IanKeith, the host of Wednesday Warriors ELO Battles, which is a very fun show, and that's how he counts down, like all the games on there. No reason to delay, it is time to play. Yes, those of you who haven't should check out Wednesday Warriors, it is a very fun show. Oh, IanKeith's getting up high, this is trouble. This is real trouble for a DAS player. Gets the well back open, but is not out of the woods. That left still needs serious work. This is so much trouble for IanKeith and doesn't get the J over. The drought is gonna do IanKeith in at 15,000. Saint gets a Tetris but doesn't even need it, is already good. And Saint moves on to the final of the June Hopeful circuit. Anyway, excellent show from both of you. Unfortunate about the decider, but it happens. And Saint, yeah, both players getting an early drought there. But Saint just managing to keep it a bit cleaner. Yes, have yourself a good drink of decider, Ian.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.